Warning, this episode includes a historical quote with foul language. Historical quotes will not be censored.
October 26, 1881, 3 men lay dead in a back lot behind the OK Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. I'm Wyatt Roose, and this is History's Iconic Moments.
So let the show begin.
Morgan Earp, Wyatt Earp, Virgil Earp and Doc Holliday, Tom McLary, Frank McLary, Billy Claiborne, Ike Clanton, and Billy Clanton. October 26, 1881, Tombstone, Arizona, the most famous shootout in the American West, the gunfight at the OK Corral. Tensions had gotten to a breaking point between the Earps and Holliday with the Cowboys. For several weeks, Ike Clanton, Billy Claiborne, and a few other Cowboys had been going around town talking about how they were going to kill the Earps and Holliday. October 26, 1881, the Cowboys would get their chance. Tombstone City Marshal Virgil Earp learned that 5 Cowboys were in town and they were armed. At that point, you could not carry a gun in town. They were in a back lot behind the OK Corral near the back entrance. Virgil asked Wyatt, who was deputized a few days earlier, and younger brother Morgan, who was also deputized, along with Doc Holliday. The Earps and Hollidays walked down the street to disarm the Cowboy. When they walked around the corner to the back entrance of the OK Corral, there they found Billy Claiborne, Ike Clanton, Billy Clanton, Tom, and Frank McLary. The two groups were 6 to 10 feet apart. Virgil Earp shouts, "Throw up your hands, I want your guns." Wyatt and Virgil both later would testify in court that they both saw Frank McLary and Billy Clanton draw and cock their pistols first. Virgil yelled, "Hold on, I don't want that!" But it was too late. The most famous gunfight in the Old West had begun. In around 30 seconds, 30 or more rounds had been fired between the two groups. 3 men laid dead and 3 men laid wounded in the streets of Tombstone, Arizona. Billy Clanton was shot in the wrist by Morgan Earp, disabling Billy's hand. Clanton switched his gun to his left hand and continued firing until the pistol was empty. Then he was shot in the chest and the abdomen. Wyatt shoots Frank McLary in the chest. Frank, struggling with the reins of his horse, loses control of his horse. Frank staggers across the street and continues firing at the Earps and Holliday. McLary grazes Holliday across the back with a bullet. Holliday then yells, "That son of a bitch shot me and I'm gonna kill him." In around 30 seconds, 30 rounds were fired and the gunfight at the OK Corral was over. When the smoke had cleared, Billy Clanton was shot through the wrist. Shot in his chest near his nipple and into his lung. He was also shot in the navel. Frank McLary had 2 bullet wounds, one in his abdomen and one under his right ear. Tom McLary had 12 buckshot wounds on his right side under his arm, from a single shotgun blast from the shotgun carried by Holliday. Virgil Earp was shot in the calf. Morgan Earp was hit in the back and that shot hit both of his shoulder blades and a vertebra. As I said earlier, Holliday's back was grazed by a bullet. Ike Clanton, who had for weeks been boasting about killing the Earps, was still running when the gunfight came to an end. Billy Claiborne also ran when the shooting started. Wyatt Earp was left unharmed. After the fight, Billy Clanton, who was mortally wounded, was carried into the Hardwood house. He asked the doctor for morphine. Gasping for air, he shouted, "They've murdered me! I've been murdered! Chase the crowd away and give me air!" Then he was heard saying, "Go away and let me die." The Earps and Holliday were charged with murder. At the trial, the Earps and Holliday were found not guilty. Not enough witnesses and too many conflicting stories. Since the Earps and Holliday were all legal lawmen, they went down with the intentions to disarm the Cowboys. The judge ruled it as self-defense. As you can imagine, this outright pissed off the Cowboys and they began to plot their revenge. But you can learn all about that in an upcoming episode of History's Icons about Wyatt Earp. If you like what you saw here, please like, share, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell so you don't miss any further episodes of History's Iconic Moments. And please support us on Patreon. It really helps keeping this project going. I'm Wyatt Roose. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all next week.